Hello, beautiful artisans. You know, I thought I better jump on here. It's already 3:30. I am still getting ready for the art and craft show tomorrow. I have not a clue how that's going to go. I've never heard of a table 2 by 10. So, and they said if you don't fit in the space, you've gotta leave. So I plan to kind of squish myself in there. Maybe I can hang my stuff on a, I don't know. We'll see how it's going to go. But anyway, with that said, what I have left to do is to make my cards to make sure that they are on the table because you never know how the craft fair is going to go. And oh, by the way, let me do this first. If you are new to the channel, jump on board. We create with all recycled and organic fabrics, materials, and supplies. And it's our way to give the earth a hug. So welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back. I love your suggestions and your comments. And I love that you love that what we're doing. So we're going to keep doing more. So with that said, I am right smack in the middle of tying my little washcloths together. So I'm going to show you the washcloths and why I am tying them like this. But look, this will be the nice little display. So now these washcloths, look, these are all the washcloths that I've done, and I'm putting them in tubes. But I had taken the washcloths and I was testing it out like this. Here, I'll show you. I was taking the twine and I wanted to kind of see what this would look like just tied like that, you know, with a little tie there and leave it so they could just see the edges. And it didn't look good at all. So I decided, well, wait a minute, let me make this a little longer. And actually, I might like to use the orange because I have all this orange ribbon. So we might do that, but I'm using the ribbons that I have and twine. So I'm going to fold this. This is how I'm doing it. And I have about 10 or 12 of these, I guess. So I figure I will tie them. And then what I'm going to do when I do my little tag is just kind of slip it in here or under here like that. So then they have the contact info. But this, I think this orange will look just adorable with this. So we're gonna cut a piece of this, hopefully not too long. But it going lengthwise, we have to have enough ribbon. So, but I want the aesthetics to be pleasing, you know. I want them to look at whatever they're looking at and say, oh, wow, that can be just a gift. So that's what I'm hoping will happen. And that will help with the sale of the washcloths. So yeah, this is lovely. So there we go. So the washcloths will be, look at that, fits perfectly there. That's adorable. Okay, so that's how I'm doing the washcloths. And I'll have those on the table. Now, I do not have a lot of room, so I also picked my coffee cozies that I have made these over time. Actually, almost 25 years ago, I made these for a number of years, and people loved them. I had them in coffee shops. Now, I wasn't making, you know, tons of money, but I was making some grocery money and gas money every week. It was helping. So these will go. And what these cozies do. So they fit on, let's see if I can pick one that shows up a little bit, maybe the little flower. So, and then you just, they're really lovely. I use these throughout the winter and it they're nice and cushiony and they're crocheted. I crocheted them. And so these will go and I will be bringing this little tree. You've seen this a few times. My keychains, the little pumpkins, the little lip balm holders, the boro sashiko. So that little tree will go. I'll have to dismantle it and then put it together there. And these I'm going to bring the little coin bags. So I'm not bringing tons of them because I didn't get as many done as I wanted, but these will do fine. And let's see. I wanted to I might finish this one. This one is adorable and I have not finished it. I just need to sew this on. I have hand stitching on it and I just need to give it some machine stitching. I don't know if that will be in the next one for November 9th though. For November 9th, we're going to get even more coin bags done because that's kind of where people know me for my coin bags is up at that mill. So guild. Who knows, maybe the mill too next. I don't know. Okay. So far it's going to be my dishcloths and they're going to be with little bows and the coffee cozies. If you want a video on the coffee cozies, let me know. This again is just a prototype. It's just something I put together and they're really adorable. Now look at these coffee cozies. These I did with my little baby knitting machine. Now, the knitting machine is a different vibe. Now, totally. And they look almost manufactured, don't they? But the knitting machine is mechanical, but it's a hand crank. You have probably seen them on the YouTube at different YouTubers. Some of them do only the knitting machine. I have bopped back and forth between the knitting machine. I do like the texture and the neatness of it. So now the difference is you're not grabbing your crochet hook and using your hands necessarily. You're just, cranking. That's a big difference. And I think that's why I end up grabbing my crochet hook. But I love this. And so, we may revisit those. Now, the other thing is I actually have one more to just sew the edges together. So I would have four. I would have four of these, but that's not much. I really wanted at least a half a dozen. But these are the little doggy bandanas, and they're really cute. So now these are my own little creation out of granny squares. It's just a granny square, and I think I've shown you this, but the collar just slips through here to the other side. Nothing super fancy, just super easy. So now the other thing, I never showed you the backing of my Christmas quilt, of the yo-yo Christmas quilt. I don't believe I showed you the backing when it was sewn on. Because I put it over there with the other quilts. But here it is. This is the backing. It's all sewn on. It's just a running stitch. That is all that is. And you've seen the front of the quilt. So all four of these lap quilts I'm bringing to the art and craft. So hopefully these go, or at least one. You don't have a lot of time, right? You have just a day. You have part of a day. and you hope that something goes. That's the life of it. That's the thrill of it almost. But I was thinking about the yo-yo quilts, and a lot of you love these. And one of you had even asked about, hey, can you make the square yo-yos? And yes, we're definitely going to do that. Now, the square yo-yos, in my opinion, look even more vintage, and I've made them. Actually, I think those were the first ones that I made. And it's so long ago, I can't even remember, but I'm pretty sure the square was the first one I made. So anyway, with that, I'd like to just focus on, maybe we do our yo-yo quilts at least one day a week. We have our yo-yo quilts. And that way we can always visit the project we're on. So we work it right into our schedule. So because I'd like to get a little venue just for my yo-yo quilts. So I think that would be very nice to do, because guess what? These use up scrap fabric so fast, faster than the crazy quilt. It is faster than the crazy quilt, because with the crazy quilt, we are piecing together like a puzzle, and then we're either hand sewing it, machine sewing it, or both. And this all takes time. But with our yo-yo quilts, we seem to be able to move along quicker. I mean, I have all of these. These are vintage fabric. That's we're making, look, we can't say when we make this, that's an authentic vintage yo-yo quilt. It's not an authentic vintage yo-yo quilt, but it is a yo-yo quilt made with real vintage fabric. So it is a true vintage vibe. Okay. That's what you can say when you're using real vintage fabric. So anyway, with that, that's pretty much what I'm bringing. And and then I'll show you the table. I mean, I have so much more in my bins, and I'm going to leave them in my bins because I don't know, especially with this particular art and craft fair, I feel like there's a lot of information for me missing. Like, I have the logistics, but until you actually go and you're part of the environment and you see how that is, you feel like there's something missing. So the one that I'm going to be in on November 9th at the Guild, I already know about that. I know the people, I know the place, I know the vibe. I'm good. This one, we'll see. And I'll bring you with me on it. So, with that, I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your Friday. I'm going to make up my cards now and finish up. I have one more little doggy bandana. I'm just going to stitch this, and then and maybe I even get one more done, and get near like a half a dozen. I can even work on a couple of them there. I mean, it's like, or even tonight, these don't take long at all. So, but with that, I will let you know. And I hope this inspires you to get out there and become part of, uh, art and craft shows around your area. And if you can't, just keep doing your crafts at home. Enjoy them. Keep moving. Enjoy your cup of coffee and the rainy days and the winter coming, and just create. So with that, you have a beautiful evening.